On tonight's CTV News, Christchurch nightlife is almost back to where it was pre-quake, according to a new report, and Cantabrians have raised thousands of dollars for the city mission simply by eating. This is CTV News. I'm Grant Mangan. The Christchurch City Council is hoping to receive $10 million from EQC. Without it, the repairs to the council's social housing could be at risk.
Repairs and replacements of Christchurch's social housing stock could be coming to a halt. The Christchurch City Council has been paying for the repairs to its damaged social housing using a $21 million advance from the Earthquake Commission. But that money has already been spent or committed to other projects. Almost 90% of the council's housing units sustained damage in the quakes and are in need of repairs or replacement. And now the council is seeking an extra $10 million from EQC to keep the repairs going. Chairman of the council's housing committee, Glenn Livingston, told the press the program could falter if they didn't receive that extra repair money. The worst case scenario meaning from August, the council has no money to spend on fixing or rebuilding its quake-damaged housing stock. But Councillor Livingston is confident that EQC will make another interim payment within the next few weeks. The council's 3-year plan assumes $53 million would be spent on fixing the housing stock. But council staff are warning that even if the organisation gets the full amount they believe they're entitled to, it still won't have enough money to fix or replace its damaged housing stock. The press reports the council is considering alternative options to repair the damaged units.
The Green Party is promising $60 million to help heat cold Christchurch homes if elected to power. The promise came as the party launched their $300 million housing policy. Marcus Gibbs reports.
Sarah and her partner Matthew are preparing themselves for a cold winter. The couple have moved into their first home with baby girl Zia. However, the place is uninsulated.
It's hard to keep warm.
Yeah.
We can usually keep this room warm, but the rest of the house, including Zia's bedroom and our bedroom, we can't keep them warm.
The middle-income family doesn't currently qualify for a subsidy to install insulation. The Green Party says their new housing policy could help make life warmer for the Christchurch family and thousands of other homeowners around the country.
It's something like 600,000 New Zealand homes don't have quality insulation. They're cold, they're damp, and they make families sick.
In 2009, a Heat Smart scheme helped insulate about 235,000 homes around the country before the government replaced it with the Healthy Homes scheme. Since late last year, that's insulated 12,000 homes out of 46,000 earmarked. However, the Greens say National scheme is only targeted towards low-income earners, meaning families like this one will miss out.
It's highly targeted, which means that families like Sarah and Matthew don't get access to that fund. We don't think that's fair, we don't think that's right. All New Zealand families have a right to warm, dry, quality housing.
The Green Party's Warm Up Christchurch policy aims to create a $25 million fund over 2 years to support 10,000 residents insulating their homes if they're still doing major repairs. The party will then spend $35 million installing heat pumps in Christchurch over the next 3 years. This will extend to 200,000 homes across the country at a cost of $300 million. It's these schemes that this young family could benefit from.
It's an investment that it's easier for the government to make than it is for us to make. We're doing our best, but any insulation we pay for now, we have to go further into debt to pay for, which is difficult when we've already got a mortgage.
Under the Greens' new scheme, everyone would be able to get assistance in keeping their home warm.
This is not about giving money away to particular individual families. This is about investing in the quality of New Zealand homes for all New Zealand families and all New Zealand children and repairing some of the neglect over many decades that we've seen in housing.
However, the minister in charge is defending his current scheme, saying the Greens' plan isn't cost effective.
Yes, to benefit and to have the wisest use of taxpayers' money, you've got to target it to those most in need. And I think that's really where the Greens scheme falls down. It's not targeted. Both millionaires and the vulnerable alike get subsidy.
The Greens say investing in housing is worth every dollar. The scheme would be funded out of the government surplus, targeting every damp home in the country. Marcus Gibbs, CTV News.
Nightlife in Christchurch is almost back to where it was pre-quake. Emma Cropper has the story.
The hospitality industry is rebuilding itself. The amount of bars, restaurants and cafes that are now open are almost back to where they were pre-quake.
The numbers are stacking up. You can say that it's 95% of pre-quake levels, but the type of recovery is, I think, where the debate should be.
The University of Canterbury has been monitoring the sector. These maps show where the new establishments have opened or closed. Over 900 restaurants, cafes and bars are now open in Christchurch. But Susie Morris believes they're smaller in capacity, which changes the look of the city's nightlife post-quake.
It will evolve. It will evolve as the demand, is generated, and new ways of serving the public sort of comes to the fore.
While many residents move to the west, Susie Morris believes the hospitality sector isn't matching those movements.
It may well serve the hospitality industry, I would say, to consider what the needs are of this population that is here. I mean, they will not all be fine dining, upmarket bars, but they are also a target market.
And although these red dots show the amount of bars still open in the CBD, it's forces outside of the sector which are plaguing many of them from reopening their doors to the public.
I would say there's a lot of infrastructure problems. There's still the traffic and there is licenses, and I suppose the city council and what regulations there are that may be put in place before these hospitality services could come back into the CBD.
Christchurch's new city nightlife may be different to what it was pre-quake, but it's hoped the industry will be back to 100% capacity by the end of the year. Emma Cropper, CTV News.
Nighttime access to dozens of industrial and rural roads is being restricted in a bid to deter boy racers.
Tougher restrictions could be in place for local boy racers. The Christchurch City Council is reviewing their prohibited times on roads bylaw, which restricts access on certain roads between 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. Currently, 50 roads in the Greater Christchurch area are restricted. The council is proposing to add more than 20 to that list. The new areas will include streets around the Christchurch Airport and industrial areas at Woolston and Bromley. These streets have recently been a hub for boy racer activity and antisocial behaviour. The council are working with the police on the matter. Council spokesperson Paul Burden says the selected streets were chosen because of public complaints. Any motorists without a legitimate reason for being on the restricted streets will face a $750 fine from police. The council have opened submissions to the public until the end of the week, with a final decision expected next month. The current bylaw was introduced by the council 4 years ago, and this is its first review. Inspector Al Stewart, Canterbury's road policing manager, welcomes the extension, saying the current bylaw is working well.
Ski fields operators are hoping for a fresh layer of snow in time for the ski season to begin.
Ski field operators across the lower South Island are hoping for colder weather, wanting the snow to continue to fall. Mount Hutt Ski Area Manager James McKenzie says the Canterbury ski field is almost ready for next week's opening, but has his fingers crossed for snowfall. The recent snowfall saw a white shadowing across the mountain, but James McKenzie says the wind blew most of it away.
So at Mount Hutt, we've had around about 5, maybe 10 centimetres of snow, but very wind affected, so a lot of it's blown away. We've got a bit left in the basin, but we still need some more really to get ourselves going for a week on Saturday.
In the final stages of preparation, McKenzie says a lot of work has gone into getting the triple chairlift back in action. The lift was damaged by an avalanche during last year's ski season.
The triple chairlift has been rebuilt and putting the chairs back on that today, and that's going through its certification for this week. All the other lifts are ready to go. We've got snow making up and running. They've been making snow overnight and adding some great volumes of snow out on the main trail. So, we're looking pretty good.
All ready and excited for winter 2014, Mount Hutt are one of the first to open on the 7th of June.
There's plenty to look forward to for 2014. Fingers crossed, if the snow comes in time for opening, we're going to have an awesome season with everything up and running at Mount Hutt, looking really good.
Joelle Batista, CTV News.
Christchurch Central City business owners have certainty following the sale of a Central City car park. The sale means a $100 retail development can now go ahead.
This is the earthquake-damaged crossing, and this is the re-envisioned version. It's a $100 million redevelopment. The design has been released today, following a deal with the Christchurch City Council. The council's been haggling with rich lister Philip Carter's company over the crossing car park since last December. A deal's finally been reached, and the Carter Group car park will be rebuilt with enough space for 534 cars. Christchurch Mayor Leanne Dalzell says the new building is critical to the success of the city's stilled retail precinct. Fellow rich lister and property developer Anthony Goff has been pushing for the Carter Group to start rebuilding their site for some time now. He says Ballantyne's has been critical to getting foot traffic inside the CBD, but it needs the support of neighbouring properties.
We need others to come out of their sleepy little hovels and actually get into action. I'm sorry, Philip Carter, time to wake up and do something with your building opposite Ballantyne's. 3 years later, 3 years too long.
Goff says the lack of development and uncertainty around the future of the car parking buildings has been driving investors away from the central city.
It's time for some of these reluctant landlords to actually pull their checkbook out and say, I need to get on and help Christchurch rather than go to sleep on it all.
He's pleased work on the crossing site is finally starting, but elsewhere in the city many buildings still stand empty and ugly on the landscape.
It's terrible. Looks third world. Looks sort of Bosnia or something like that.
Goff's message for these reluctant landlords is clear.
We need you to put money in Christchurch, and this is where you should be doing it.
The new car park will be maintained and operated by the Carter Group on behalf of the council for 50 years. The existing crossing building suffered major damage in the earthquakes. It will need to be demolished before work on the site can start. The Carter Group aims to open the building by November next year. Marcus Gibbs, CTV News.
Coming up, a Hanma Springs man is about to cycle around the world to raise funds for prostate cancer.
Immersed in the unique cultural highlights Germany has to offer every Tuesday night with Discover Germany. Tuesday at 7 p.m, right here on CTV.
Action Removals, offering short or long-term storage facilities, full packing services, comprehensive rates, all fully insured and with 6 vehicle sizes to choose from. Earthquake repairs? Action Removals pack, move, store and return your valuable possessions stress-free. Action Removals, a family business that has been operating in Christchurch for over 10 years. Action Removals, your one-stop removal service on time, every time. 0800 222 526.
Our friends and family celebrate and live their lives in all sorts of ways. So it's always hard and sad with the passing of a loved one. We at Palmer Funerals know and understand this, and we believe that their life should still be celebrated even when they have gone. With our newly built chapel, we can help tailor-make a funeral which is unique and personal to you, and help celebrate their life while making your difficult time easier. Palmer Funeral Services. Tailor-made funerals.
Christchurch has its very own enchanted utopia, the Hitching Post. Pop in and see for yourself. A magical assortment of handmade creations, custom-made candles and artwork. Choose from our huge range of water features, garden art and imported giftware. Specialists in handcrafted metal artwork made in store. Nestled on 722 Marshlands Road. The Hitching Post, defining art our way.
Hi, I'm Steve and welcome to Carpet Kingdom. At Carpet Kingdom we stock a massive range of carpets and we're also the largest vinyl stockist in the South Island. And not only do we have an excellent range in store, but you can purchase our stock online. We offer free measuring quotes, we have our own installation team, we ship nationwide, so come on down and see us at Carpet Kingdom. 312 Wilsons Road in Waltham, just off Brougham Street, or visit us online at carpetkingdom.co.nz.
Al Jazeera News, international news right off the satellite, bringing you up-to-the-minute coverage of world events. Al Jazeera News, weekday mornings at 6 o'clock, right here on CTV.
A Hanma Springs local is putting his feet to the pedals as he travels the world to raise money and awareness for prostate cancer and Canteen. Marcus Gibbs was there as he prepared to take off.
A last hurrah for a friend and partner before Grum goes global. The Hanmer grandfather has ditched his retirement plans to travel the world with his trusty bike.
Everyone needs adventure. Everyone's got a bucket list, and this seemed like a pretty good adventure to me.
Rum, as he's known, is cycling more than 35,000 kilometres. When he flies out on Thursday, he won't be back until 2016. He'll need to rely on the generosity of strangers throughout his journey.
But when you're cycling, you're only going 15 kilometres an hour. You see heaps. And then every night you're pretty tired, but you stop and you're living with the locals, eating the local food. There's no better way to see the world.
He's well prepared for his travels, with a bike trailer complete with tent, sleeping bag, and of course a few extra treats to get him on his way.
I thought, look, I'm going to do all this effort. It'd be really good to do it for a couple of causes.
The first is prostate cancer.
He's doing cycling for 900 days. He's flying our flag on the trailer here. What better way to get out there?
He'll also be telling everyone he sees about Canteen. This is where Rachel comes in.
My brother Ben passed away 4 years ago from cancer, and him and Grandma were pretty good friends, so I think that was part of the reason he chose Canteen, and pretty cool for him to be able to have Ben and me in his memory while he does this journey, and cool for me to be able to have him think of us as well.
With a journey this size, there had to be sacrifices. Grum's wife Juliet will join him for part of it, but there will be times when he's cycling alone. The couple have been married for 12 years. This will be the longest they've been apart.
First of all, it won't be too long, it'll be just a couple of months. And then after that, it could be up to 6 months. Yeah, it feels like a long time, but I'm not going to dwell on that.
For Grum, the hardest part of his journey will be leaving his friends and family behind.
Grummy, did you know you've got a new baby grandson today?
My son has had a baby, and the only way I'm going to see him is by Skype now, because I'm leaving in 2 days and he lives in Invercargill. So that's pretty hard.
He's committed to the ride, there's no turning back.
I know already that I'm inspiring people to do other crazy stuff, or even not crazy stuff, and that's what I'd like to do, just say to people, look, get out there, follow those dreams.
And why not join Grum for the journey of a lifetime? Marcus Gibbs, CTV News.
Technology is changing the way students learn in the classroom. A Ministry of Education funded national survey shows schools are adapting the way they learn.
Gone are the days of using pencil and paper. What you see here is the classroom of the future.
Once you're on safari, where do you think you might move to then?
Technology such as these iPads are transforming learning in the classroom. Access to information and interactive learning tools is literally available at the students' fingertips.
You can search up things and play maths games or spelling games.
But technology has its limits. Nearly 60% of schools around the country struggle with access to high-quality devices and strong internet connections. Burnside Primary School is one of those. They only have the capacity to operate these 30 iPads around their school of 250 pupils. But that's set to change. The school is in the planning stages of building on a new site, part of the Ministry of Education's shake-up of schools in Canterbury. The new site will come equipped with quicker and stronger internet.
But basically having that predictability and reliability is going to allow us to do a lot of things and saturate the classrooms with iPads pretty much just as another tool, giving kids alternatives to present work, and just add a different dimension to the way they write and the way they research.
And the iPads give the students the chance to bring their stories to life.
So you can write a big long cartoon type story with a medieval theme and drag all the characters in and create a whole story around that. So you certainly can't do that with pen and paper.
The small devices aren't replacing the old-fashioned pen and paper, but give the students another tool to work with.
Because this is technology and you don't have to use pencils and stuff to write on it. You just press a letter.
Much easier.
You don't need a pencil or any paper, you just type it up with your fingers.
Despite children soaking up the new technology, teachers are playing catch-up. Almost half of them nationwide believe they're limited by their knowledge and skills with technology. But this new way of learning isn't going anywhere. Emma Cropper, CTV News.
Still to come, a story I really want to know more about, and that is Cantabrians are raising money simply by eating.
Be watching CTV News first at 5 and you could win up to $5,000 every week with CTV's cash giveaways. For more information, visit our website and be watching CTV News first at 5.
Are you looking for more from your local channel? CTV are online. Our latest listings, on-demand shows, program information, all on the CTV website. We'll see you there.
Come in and meet the locals at the Bush Inn Centre. Whether it's to grab a coffee on the go or to catch up with a friend over lunch or dinner, the Bush Inn Centre is the perfect place. With our unique range of shops, you'll find everything you're looking for and more. Our friendly locals are always happy to help. We have plenty of parking at the Bush Inn Centre, making your shopping experience just a little bit easier. So come in, meet the locals and shop Bush Inn. You'll find us on the corner of Riccarton and Waimari Roads.
For a fresh, vibrant and unique look that reflects your style, whether you're wanting to stand out from the crowd or blend in, Decode has it all. Decode caters to both male and female, from teens to all adults and the young at heart. Life's too short to simply blend in. Shop online at decodefashion.co.nz or in store at 220 Stafford Street, Timaru.
The Hearst Auto Dismantler's premises has been sold. We apologise for any inconvenience.
Tomorrow Today is your science program, presenting a comprehensive overview of the latest trends in science and research. Tomorrow Today, Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m, right here on CTV.
Cantabrians have raised thousands of dollars for the Christchurch City Mission simply by eating. Marcus Gibbs explains.
The Christchurch City Mission is in for a cash windfall, a share of $86,000. It's the patrons of restaurants like Cookin' with Gas that have helped raise the funds. DineAid's a charitable initiative. It's been running in New Zealand for the past 6 years. Its aim is to help those who go hungry. Diners can choose to add $2 to their final bill. The money raised is always split between Auckland, Wellington and Christchurch City missions, helping to put food on the table for those who need it most.
Well, it's pretty important for us. We provide over 20,000 meals for people a year, and so it's really vital that we get support from the community to enable us to do this.
Since its launch, DineAid has helped raise $482,000. The Christchurch City Mission uses the money to feed the men in its night shelter and provide food parcels for anyone struggling to make ends meet.
The Men in the Night Shelter is actually quite a small component of it. It's about helping people in the community as well. And as I say, we think that we feed about 20,000, probably even more, people through our food bank as well.
The Christchurch City Mission's annual food bill is huge, more than $400,000. Donations supplement this, however the mission still spends $100,000 a year on food. The city's missioner has a simple message for Christchurch's diners.
Well, it would be wonderful if they were able to just add a little extra to the bill. This October, November, there'll be another opportunity for them to do that. So when they come to dinner at some of the restaurants and they are paying the bill, if they could just slip a little extra on top of it, like a tip I guess, that would really help us tremendously.
With Jack Frost snapping at the city's homeless, they're going to need food in their bellies to get through the long, cold nights ahead. Marcus Gibbs, CTV News.
If you're driving around the central city, CTV's traffic update will assist you navigating the repairs taking place.
Hello travellers, here's a few tips on how to plan your journey around the central city this week. Barbados Street and Durham Street are still down to one lane as work continues. This means your journey to and from work will be a bit slower than normal. Please allow extra time or consider using alternatives such as Fitzgerald Avenue South. Kilmore Street and Salisbury are also down to one lane this week as work continues. If you're travelling around the outside of the city, use the 4 avenues to avoid those nasty traffic jams. To keep up to date on what's happening with the Central City roads, stay tuned, keep watching CTV News first at 5 every night, and in the meantime visit the Transport for Christchurch website.
And after such a cold start this morning, let's see what we're in for tomorrow with your regional weather.
Kia ora everybody. A fine but cool day around the region today after a very frosty start. Down in South Canterbury, Timaru had 12 degrees today, Temuka and Geraldine on 12 degrees. Ashburton, 12 degrees for your Tuesday, Methven had 12 degrees, Rakaia, 12 degrees for you, Dartfield had 12 degrees today, Leeston and Rolleston had 13 degrees, Lincoln also had 13 today, and Christchurch, a cool day for you with 13 degrees. Over in Akaroa, 12 degrees for you today, and out in North Canterbury, Kaiapoi, Rangiora and Amberley all on 12 degrees today. Let's take a look inland now. Culverden and Hanna Springs, you were both on 13 degrees today and 13 degrees up in Cheviot as well. Let's take a closer look at the weather in your area now. Fine with high cloud increasing during the day down in Timaru, and those mild northwesterly winds will become strong and gusty. Tonight's low 5 degrees, tomorrow's high 15. Ashburton, a fine and mild Wednesday ahead with high cloud developing and northwesterly winds increasing, and they will become strong by late afternoon. Tonight's low 4 degrees, tomorrow's high 15. A mild Wednesday in store for the Garden City with northeasterlies at first, but northerly winds will freshen during the afternoon and into the evening. Tonight's low just 1 degree and tomorrow's high a warmer 16 degrees. Along the east coast, Kaikoura, sunny periods at first but high cloud increasing during the day and northerly winds freshening from evening. Tonight's low is just at 0 and tomorrow's high 15 degrees. Fine to start with in most areas, followed by some cloudy periods in the afternoon. Temuka and Geraldine can expect a high of 16 degrees. Methven, you'll have 16 degrees and 16 is expected in Rakaia. Dartfield, you can expect 16 degrees tomorrow, and Leeston, 16 degrees for you. Rolleston and Lincoln, 16 degrees for you as well, and Akaroa, 16 degrees expected for you. And out in North Canterbury, Kaiapoi and Rangiora, 16 degrees are set for your Wednesday. Amberley also have 16 degrees expected there. Culverden, Hanna Springs and Cheviot, a fine day with 15 degrees. Looking ahead for Canterbury, fresh, gusty, mild northwesterly winds and high cloud on Thursday morning, but a cold, blusterly southwest change during the afternoon will bring a few brief showers. Becoming fine on Thursday night with frost possible. Mostly fine and sunny from Friday through to next Monday. Cool daytime temperatures, however, frosty in the evenings with light northeasterly winds. And that's your weather update for Tuesday. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
And that's CTV News for Tuesday. I'm Grant Mangan. Good night.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.